The Rangers have won game one. Man, oh man. I picked the Rangers to win this series. Myself and Ballcap Sports, we were live last night. I went with the Rangers in this series, and that's looking pretty good so far. But the Rangers jump out to a 1-0 lead. Man, oh man, Jordan Montgomery here tonight. Jordan Montgomery, let me just update here the score ticker down below. I just realized that is not updated. There we go. Here we go. Score ticker is fixed. Okay. All righty. Here we go. Back to it here. All righty. We should be good to go. Should be good to go. My stream is I think my stream is a little behind tonight. Might have forgotten to update that in the settings. But the game is over here, everyone. The game is over. And we have a final 2-0 here. Let's be real. Nothing really too exciting overall. Nothing crazy here. Just a good game from Jordan Montgomery overall. Very well pitched from him, man. Verlander and Montgomery tonight really went back and forth, but Montgomery in the end just pitched that much better than Justin Verlander here tonight. Overall, for Montgomery, 6 1/3, 5 hits, 6 Ks. I mean, this is what you wanted Jordan Montgomery to come to Texas to do. Let's be real here. I think when the Rangers picked up Max Scherzer, I think people were kind of looking at that as almost like I think we can all agree that was the bigger headline move. I'm not sure what's going on my screen right now, everyone. I am so sorry. There we go. I am so sorry, everyone. I don't know what was going on my screen right there. But when that move happened, it seemed like Scherzer was the bigger headline move, right? Montgomery was the solid pickup. You knew he was going to give you something, but he is proving right now. Honestly, let's all be real right now. Jordan Montgomery is pitching himself to an awesome contract this offseason. Wherever he goes, he's not going to be able to add this to his resume. I mean, I know we're not, we're game one into the ALCS. There's still a lot that can happen here. But Jordan Montgomery is proving that he can not only pitch well for you over a full season, but he can also handle the postseason as well. This guy's going to get himself a really good contract in the offseason. It's going to be really fun to see where he ends up going. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Everyone needs starting pitching, it seems. Hopefully for the Rangers, they can keep this guy around. But tonight, he was fantastic. I mean, if we just go take a look here at the game breakdown. Everyone, I see people trickling on in. I'm not expecting a big turnout for tonight's show. Hopefully I'm wrong. I figured, it's game one of the ALCS. There's no other game on here tonight. No NLCS tonight. That'll be tomorrow. So I am expecting a bigger turnout for tomorrow. But I figured I would come on here, kind of just break this one down here. There's really not a whole lot to break down. That was another reason I thought about not going live, because it's kind of an uneventful game tonight, honestly. That's why I got some news to talk about here as well. But if you can, hit the like button for me, everyone. That's really going to help out with the algorithm. We have been struggling with the algorithm a little bit lately. That would greatly help kind of push this out there for some people to come on in, maybe some new faces coming in to join the community here. But yeah, everyone, hit that like button, hit the bell notification, share the show if you can, subscribe if you are new. Our sponsor for tonight is Underdog Fantasy. The link, actually, I have to put the link in the description, but that will be there. If you click that link, use my code HYDE. You get a double on your first deposit up to $100. But let's get back to the game here. So looking at Jordan Montgomery tonight, honestly, really, the story with him, he was just keeping these hitters off balance tonight. I mean, that was the big thing. When you look at the chart of everything, I mean, he was really just going low with the curveball. He was just changing the eye levels of these pitchers. Jordan Montgomery, he's someone I'm not going to say has, the best pure stuff in Major League Baseball. But what he does really well is he works around the zone and he changes the eye levels and he keeps hitters off balance. He keeps them guessing. When he's on, he's really tough to beat. And you can clearly see this is what was happening here. The curveball's down below the zone, and then he was just attacking the zone, going with the fastballs in the middle, using the changeups as well. Really just changing eye levels tonight. That was the big thing for Jordan Montgomery. And as for Justin Verlander, honestly, I think we can all agree here. Verlander pitched a really good game tonight. In the end, Montgomery just did a little bit better, and the bullpen was able to close it out. Unfortunately, given a couple of hits up there, a couple of, gave up the bomb early on. Then we had, Jonah Heim coming through with an RBI here, and then Leody Taveras, coming through with the home run. Who would have thought the number 9 hitter, Leody Taveras, is going to be coming through with a big knock off Justin Verlander of all, this is postseason baseball at its finest. But Verlander did not look bad tonight, honestly. Just attacking the zone, going out of the zone, getting guys to chase. He pitched a pretty good game. The story for the Astros, though, just no offense. They couldn't get anything going off of Montgomery tonight. Bregman got in on the action a little bit. You had Abreu come through with a hit. It's nice to see Abreu waking up in this postseason. That is pretty nice. McCormick, Dubon, Pena coming through. Altuve was quiet. Alvarez was quiet. Just not a whole lot. Honestly, from the Rangers' point of view, yeah, they got the couple of runs there. But really not a whole lot from the Rangers either. 11 hits combined on the night. Like I said, there's not really a whole lot to talk about in this game. I think the big thing that we can look at is that the Rangers simply just came in. Listen, the Rangers have not lost a postseason game. This is now the second loss for the Astros this postseason. The Rangers, listen, I said this last night. We were myself and Jim of Ballcap, we were talking about this series, and I was saying here, everyone wants to complain about the format. I don't say everyone, but a good majority, maybe not a majority, a good portion of people out there, complaining about the playoff format, saying, these top teams are getting iced because of all the wait time they have. In the end, though, the Rangers handled a really good Rays team, handled a really good Orioles team. Listen, this is a good Rangers team right now. They seem like they have really gotten this together. They have figured it out. All those woes they were going through at one point doesn't really seem to be a thing right now with this Rangers team. Everything is just clicking, and even if they're not getting the offense, they've been very good offensively in this postseason. Didn't get a whole lot of it tonight. Got the couple of knocks that they needed, and then you just have Montgomery just pitch a great game. And the bullpen coming in after him. I mean, come on, look at Chapman coming in, 8 pitches, not even anything to worry about with Chapman at all. Leclerc looking nasty to close the game out. I mean, what else is there to say? There's not really a whole lot else to say here. This is what good teams do. Even when they don't have their biggest strength, their offense. I mean, looking at Semien and Seager. Semien had a moment there with the bases loaded. He had a couple of foul balls there. There was one foul ball Semien had. I don't know if anyone remembers this, but they had the umpire camera view or whatever it was, and Semien hit a foul ball like straight up, and I thought that dude just hit like a grand slam. My goodness, I thought Semien just left the yard with that. But Semien, Seager, relatively quiet. Honestly, very quiet 1 through 4. So it's nice to see that, some of these guys are really stepping up near the bottom of the order. You see these big names at the top, but honestly, I think it's a really good sign for the Rangers that someone like Jonah Heim is finally waking up in this postseason, delivering an RBI there. And then Leody Taveras, who is quietly having himself a pretty decent postseason overall, coming through with a home run at the bottom of the order. I think it's a great sign for the Rangers moving forward that you got the bottom of the order here coming through. Even if the top of the order is not really working out in one game, at least, you're getting some other guys stepping up. You got the pitching stepping up. The Rangers just look like a really good team right now. That's what really good teams do. When they don't have their strength doing their best in one particular night, you got other parts of the team that can pick up the slack. We got a super chat coming in here. Sean McNally, how you doing? $1.99. Rangers giving me heart attacks per usual. W, though. Listen, that's postseason baseball. That's postseason baseball. If you don't have at least like 3 heart attacks along the way, I mean, really, what are you doing? You got to have those moments. You got to have those pressure cooker moments. You know how many moments of those I had in the 2018 World Series run? I mean, my goodness. I mean, even though the Red Sox pretty much handled every series that year, the Yankees, the Astros, the Dodgers, every series just had one of those moments. You know, you had that just ridiculous game against the Dodgers, like the 18-inning game. My goodness, that whole game was just ridiculous. Go back to the Astros series. You had a couple of close ones there. Andrew Benintendi with the catch of his freaking lifetime in that series to save the game, basically. And then go back to the Yankees series. You had Kimbrel. What was it? I think it was game 4, closing it out in Yankee Stadium. That was the one that almost killed me. I'm not kidding about that. That was one of the most strenuous experiences I've ever had in my life. But you have to have a few of those moments along the way if you want to enjoy that World Series championship. It's just how it is. It's how it needs to be. So Sean McNally add those 3 to the other 65 this season. I mean, honestly, would you rather? I mean, to me, I think that makes it more memorable. You know what I mean? You just had so many of those moments throughout the year. The Rangers, they've had great ups this year, but then they've had some huge downs this year, almost not even making the postseason. Let's remember that. But isn't that crazy to think that this Rangers team is undefeated in this postseason right now, and they almost didn't even make the postseason? Isn't that crazy? Pretty crazy. So, but back to this. I mean, I've pretty much covered everything here. There's just nothing really going on with the offenses tonight, minus the couple of base knocks on the Rangers that were key hits for them. Pitching looked really good on both sides. Yeah, sure. Verlander, tough one for him. He did. Honestly, this is a really good game, and I hope people remember that. Verlander did pitch a good game tonight. So the offense with the Astros just not fully coming through. So moving on here to Game 2. Let's go to the Game 2, and let's get the preview here. And right now, to me, Game 1 in a 7-game series, to me, yeah, it maybe sets the tone a little bit. But to me, I don't think it really tells you a whole lot. To me, I look at Game 2. I think Game 2, Game 3, those are the most important games in a series because that really tells you where the series is going, in my opinion, especially Game 2. I look at Game 2, and like Game 1 is kind of like, okay, all right, you got your taste, you got your appetizer, you know, at least you got a little bit of a taste of what to expect, or what teams need to do to bounce back. So for the Astros, obviously in Game 2, they got to get the bats going here. And the one thing with the Astros this year is the home performance for them has not been great. So are we going to see them struggle again? Tomorrow you got Nathan Eovaldi against Framber Valdez. I'm going to be honest with you. I've not been feeling very good about Framber Valdez. Something about Valdez just doesn't look great right now. Doesn't look completely sharp. Doesn't look amazing. I don't know. There's something with him. He's not giving me that same fear as before, right? When last postseason, go back to that postseason, Framber Valdez was just on another level at that point. Every start he was having, it just felt like he was going to give you a really good game. And right now, I don't have that confidence in Framber Valdez. I think the Astros, they're in danger right now. They're going to have the offense really going to have that offense step up tomorrow because Framber Valdez worries me a little bit. Fangraphs, they give a huge percentage chance right now for the Astros. I completely disagree with this. I think right now the Rangers' probability should be higher than this. I think they should actually flip this because Framber Valdez has not been having a lot of success lately. Let's actually go to Framber Valdez. Let's go to Nathan Eovaldi. Let's see how they've done against each other this year. Nathan Eovaldi right now seems like, remember he did miss some time there, and after he came back, things were looking not so great for Nathan Eovaldi, but he has put together a couple of really good starts this postseason against the Rays, against the Orioles, while Framber Valdez, on the other hand, has looked like the complete opposite. But we can look at how he has done against the Rangers. Maybe that could give us some kind of an idea. If you take a look here, back on September 5th, he did pitch well in Texas. 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned, 4 walks overall, but in the end, got the win there. He did pitch at home against Texas, and look at that. At home against Texas, July 26, 3 2/3, 8 hits, 6 runs overall. So, you know what I'm gonna predict tomorrow for Framber Valdez? I'm going to go somewhere in the middle here. I'm going to go like 5 innings, maybe like 3 or 4 runs allowed. And I think if you can get that from Valdez with how he's been lately, I think that's a win in my opinion. And obviously, if he can give you the 7 innings, 1, 2 runs, maybe even a shutout, obviously that's a win. But to me, I just don't like where he's going lately. And I would actually, if I were to go between these couple of starts, I'll go somewhere in the middle. I'll go like 5 innings, maybe 4 earned. I could see a start like that for him. While Nathan Eovaldi, like I said, he's been looking really good lately, man. Nathan Eovaldi in the postseason, there's just something different about Nathan Eovaldi in the postseason, man. And if we take a look at how he's done against Houston, remember when he came back from injury, he missed like a month. That was like his first start back, and he went an inning and a third. He was still building up his innings at that point, but 5 hits, 4 runs there. So you can't really look at that start. And that, he had one more start back in July. He looked really good against the Astros on July 1st. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed, 4 walks in that game, but whatever. So Nathan Eovaldi, I'm expecting a really good start from him tomorrow. I completely disagree with this from Fangraphs. I think right now the Rangers have an absolute chance of going up 2-0 in this series. And if you're at that point, listen, I was saying this yesterday with Jim of Ballcap Sports. We were on a stream together, and I said this. I would expect this series to go 7 because you on the surface, right? You're looking at these two teams. They've been going at it this year. They've just been taking shots back and forth at each other. But if you really look at how these two teams have been this year with each other, it seems like one team just beats the crap out of the other team, and then they just trade blows back and forth. I wouldn't be surprised at all if maybe right now, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if this series goes 5 or 6, right? I feel like you would like it to go 7 because these are division rivals. They've been playing each other hard this year. Like I said, taking shots at each other back and forth. Like the Astros just annihilated the Rangers like a little over a month ago exactly. And then the Rangers, they beat up on the Astros earlier on in the year. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe you saw this end up being a shorter series, 5 or maybe 6 games. I would like it to go 7. I'm just saying. But right now, I do give the edge to the Rangers tomorrow. I think Nathan Eovaldi is just on. He's got himself a groove going lately. I like this start for Eovaldi tomorrow over Framber Valdez. And then you have Scherzer for Game 3. So it's official now. Scherzer will be pitching in this series. Who knows what to expect? Max Scherzer might be one of the biggest X factors in playoff history, in my opinion. When I'm looking at Max Scherzer in this series, you don't know what he's going to give you. If he throws a dud, well, obviously that's going to hurt you. But he is capable of going out there and giving you a decent start. Now, I wonder how deep he'll go. I wonder how deep. I could see, honestly, maybe he gives you 3 or 4 innings, right? He's had a bit of a layoff there, the shoulder. I know he's been throwing bullpens. But I don't know, man. I just wonder how deep he'll go. I wouldn't be surprised if he is pitching well and they kind of just pull him after 4 innings, maybe 5. I think there's going to be some kind of a limit on him, but maybe they'll also kind of go with a feel too, right? They'll kind of look at it like, all right, you know what? He's pitching all right, but they'll probably have a quick leash, right? But the one thing with the Rangers is they have quite a few relievers that can hop in after him, long relievers like Andrew Heaney. You got Dane Dunning. You got Martin Perez that can come in after him. So I think the Rangers right now, they're in a really good position. Winning Game 1, it puts any team in a really good spot, but I think it puts the Rangers in a really good spot. I'm just saying, man, Eovaldi Game 2, who knows? Scherzer ends up throwing decent in Game 3. You got a couple of guys that could hop in after him. And you make a good point, Dragon. I see you in the chat. Don't forget John Gray as well. The Rangers right now, I think they have something. They at least, I think this Game 1 win for them, usually, a Game 1 win, I know there's statistics out there. Teams that usually win Game 1, They tend to, I'm not sure what that stat is. Is it even a stat? Is it 50-50? I don't know. I feel like I've seen somewhere before the team that takes game one has the higher chance of winning a series overall, or at least it's happened more often than not. But I think for the Rangers, this puts them in a really good position. If they had lost game one, I still think there was a chance, you could come back in games 2 and 3, but this is huge. This is a huge game one win for them. Montgomery pitching well on the road in Houston against their ace. Rangers are looking great right now. I think it's a great start for them. So, let's take a look here. Let's go to the Diamondbacks and the Phillies. And let's do a quick preview of this one. This will be on tomorrow night. Thank goodness this game is on at a reasonable time tomorrow. My goodness. Thank goodness. I know it's on the East Coast, but I also love that when the series goes back to Arizona, it's going to be on at 5 o'clock. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I can't do the West Coast games. I just can't do them. But anyway, that game's on tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Very good pitching matchup. Zach Gallen, Zach Wheeler, the battle of the Zacks. I mean, this is a very tight series. Listen, I said this last night. I said this yesterday with Jim on Ballcap on his channel. We shared streams last night. I was live here as well, and then he had the live stream over there too. I think the Diamondbacks right now. Listen, I went against the Diamondbacks against the Dodgers. I pretty much said Dodgers are winning that series. No doubt. They're taking that series. And I was completely wrong. I look like an absolute clown making that pick. Right now, the Diamondbacks, the Phillies right now, they are looking at themselves from last year, right? They are looking at a reflection of themselves because this Diamondbacks team is very similar to that Phillies team, right? In the 80s with their wins, kind of just getting into the postseason, but a team that's hot, a team that is really underrated. This Diamondbacks team, I've been on the D-backs train for a while. I pretty much say that every single time I talk about the Diamondbacks. But yeah, because I feel like I'm one of the only ones out there that's had that has one of these channels where I'm like, dude, the Diamondbacks got some good people, man. They got some good players on this team. They got some good players in the organization. I was just waiting for this Diamondbacks team to wake up, and here they are. I don't think the Phillies will not take anyone lightly. I think at this point, when you're in the postseason, you're not taking anyone lightly. I just hope the Phillies, for their sake, they just keep their foot on the pedal, right? Diamondbacks, man, they're a team that could really shock you. I wonder, man, you have a chance in game one with how Gallen pitched against the Dodgers. These bats right now for the Diamondbacks are hot. Right? Remember, everyone's talking about the Phillies and the Braves, right? We want to talk about a team getting iced. Well, hey, the Braves, if that is true, if that really was the main culprit, the Phillies went up against a cold offense. They're going up against a hot offense here with the Diamondbacks. I'm just saying, you can't take them lightly. Can't take them lightly. And Gallen on the mound in game one, that could be one of those starts. He goes into Philly. Maybe steals a game one. If the Diamondbacks steal game one, I think people need to they need to maybe start thinking here. Oh, this Diamondbacks team is no joke. So this is gonna be an interesting series if you ask me. And I do find it very surprising that Fangraphs has it this even. I thought coming into this that the Phillies would have a huge edge. It almost worries me, right? I don't want to say worries because I'm not showing bias towards either team, but it almost kind of makes me think: are we maybe seeing a possible upset from the Diamondbacks? I don't know because I just figured maybe the Phillies would have a much bigger chance. These are Zips projections. There's a whole lot of numbers that go into these. Again, I don't think it means a whole lot, but I do find it interesting. Don't sleep on the Diamondbacks. I think the Phillies should win this series, but I'm not going to sleep on the D-backs. Not going to sleep. But that's going to be a good one tomorrow. Zach Gallen, Zach Wheeler, Merrill Kelly, Aaron Nola for game 2. And then, hey, Suarez, 5 for game 3. Not bad if you ask me. Anyway, let's get to some news, everyone. We've pretty much covered everything we need to talk about when it comes to the games. Speaking of the Braves, let's talk about the Braves here. Let's talk about the Braves. So Anthopoulos, he did talk, had his what do you call it? His the off-season press conference, right? Talking with the media, and he did talk about some things here when it came to, just his reaction overall to the outcome of the Braves this year. He said he's basically paraphrasing. He's kind of stumped at this point, and he's, they're going to be looking into it a little bit more. Still didn't really have an answer, right? I think we all know the answer. I just think overall, the main culprit for the Braves' demise was rotation depth. I do think that's what it was, along with the fact that Strider, he needs to evolve into a 3-pitch pitcher. Listen, Strider, yeah, amazing fastball, amazing slider. But when you're in postseason baseball, it's really hard to get by with 2 pitches, right? He did pitch really well in that series. But if you want to be that guy that goes 7 innings, 7 shutout innings, you need 3 pitches. You can't just roll with 2 in the postseason. I know we can do that in the regular season, but in the postseason against these bats, you got to have 3. So I do think that was a bit of a culprit, but I mean, obviously the bats didn't step up. I'm just more pointing out the fact that the Braves, the pitching just didn't really come through for them. Fried, he had that bit of a layoff there, looked a little rusty in his start. They just couldn't really get it going. And obviously, but the bats, they went cold. At the end of the day, though, the good teams step up in the end. But Anthopoulos, he did talk today. Or was it yesterday? That was yesterday, sorry. He did talk, and one thing he did bring up, he didn't really give any specifics. That sounds like Alex Anthopoulos, right? He said, speaking of the rotation more generally, Anthopoulos wouldn't get into specific offseason plans, but acknowledged the club's struggles with injuries in that area of the roster this season. Listen, I said this the other day. If I'm the Atlanta Braves, listen, you can't roll into next season. Kyle Wright's not going to be there next year. He's out. You need to go pick up someone in the offseason. I think they need to go spend some money. I really do. And if I'm the Braves, I'm making a phone call to Aaron Nola. I really am. Listen, you haven't been able to get by the Phillies. If you want to go make a move, go get Aaron Nola, a guy that has proven that he is durable. He can give you innings. That's a guy I'm going after. That would send shockwaves in that rivalry. Shockwaves. Would Aaron Nola do it? Would he change jerseys? Would he go from Philly to Atlanta? I think the Cardinals are going to be a big threat to sign him. I think the Cardinals, they are very desperate to go sign a frontline starting guy. But I think the Braves really need to go after someone, even if it's not Nola. Obviously, there's some other guys out there. Montgomery, I think, could be a good option. Eduardo Rodriguez, that's a guy that's proven to be pretty durable in his career. That's another one. You need to go get someone. But if I'm really going to try and hit the Phillies where it hurts, I'm taking one of their top guys. I'm going to try. I'm just saying. They need to go get a guy with that's going to give you innings. But that is kind of, he didn't really get into specifics. That's not his style. He's very he likes to stay under the radar as much as possible. So it's no surprise. But the fact that he's talking about the injuries, I think that says something. And I think they're going to go after someone that can give you innings. At least someone that's proven it. Moving along further, when it comes to more front office news, my Red Sox can't hire anyone. Everyone. My Red Sox, they're not looking good right now. They're not looking good. They can't hire anyone. Oh, I'm not surprised. This is what happens when you fire everyone. This is what happens when you didn't treat Theo Epstein well, right? This is a guy that helped bring 2 World Series championships. Remember, Theo Epstein leaving in the gorilla suit, right? Leaving for the Cubs after 2011, after that disaster. Ben Cherington, you had step into that role. Ben Cherington, a guy who really helped out with the farm, helped win a World Series in 2013. Ben Cherington, that wasn't luck. He had a huge part of that 2013 World Series. He didn't just step into it. He helped really put together a lot of those players on that team, right? Coming up through the farm and then making key free agent additions. Obviously, it didn't really work out after that. And he made some pretty bad moves after that as well. Pablo Sandoval was another one. But him getting dismissed. But the big one was Dave Dombrowski. You brought Dave Dombrowski in, one of the best executives in all of baseball. Look what he's doing here with the Phillies. And then you fired Dave Dombrowski. Listen, I understand. Like, there were a couple of moves. Maybe, the extension of Chris Sale has not completely worked out. But Dave Dombrowski, that one was just... I was shocked when Dombrowski got fired. I figured, dude, he's been here for 3 years. He was with the Tigers for years. And you got rid of Dave Dombrowski? You didn't even give him a chance to try and rebuild the farm? I don't know. I know he got rid of everyone on the farm, but even he said himself he would have liked a chance to try and build the farm back up. And then you bring in Chaim Bloom. Say what you will about Chaim Bloom, but holy cow, that guy has really gotten that farm back together. Holy cow, look at all the prospects the Red Sox have brought in. And yeah, they haven't been able to put together a winning team. But ownership hasn't let him go out there and really spend the money. And then in the end, he gets fired. Why would anyone want to go work for the Red Sox? Why? Unless you're an up-and-coming guy. If you're a guy that's, looking to make your mark, all right, sure, Red Sox, okay. But everyone knows the stink right now with the Red Sox. They're not able to get anyone. And looking at this report here, even Michael Hill, who used to be with the Marlins, he made some awful moves with the Marlins. He's not even interested in going to the Red Sox. He's not even interested in a redemption tour. I know he was working with the Marlins. He didn't have a whole lot to work with, but the players that he brought back for the trades that he made with Stanton, with Yelich, I think Gallen was one of them too. Well, no, Gallen kind of worked out. But with the Stanton deal and the Yelich deal, those deals didn't work out for the Marlins. I'm just saying, even Michael Hill doesn't even want to come for work for the Red Sox. Pretty much everyone is turning them down. Michael Hazen, he's staying with the Diamondbacks. That one I could, kind of see. Even John Daniels, speaking of the Rangers, I know we got some Rangers fans in here for the postgame, but even John Daniels didn't even want to come out of whatever he's doing and go work for the Red Sox. No one wants to work for the Red Sox. Now, they do say here that Sam Fuld is looking to be the favorite. But let's see. Philly fans, I'm going to say this. I thought about this today. I thought, Sam Fuld, yeah. This is a guy I think would be really good for the position. He kind of, to me, he's like that balanced. He's that balanced executive that you can bring in because he's a guy that, hasn't had the lead role, but he's been under Dave Dombrowski for the last couple of years. He's seen how those operations work, right? So he's gotten some good experience under a good mentor, right? He's a guy that, is a New England guy. It just kind of, there's a lot of boxes that get checked off with Sam Fuld. But I thought about this. This one was such an obvious to me. Now, I don't know how much this comes into play. But let's think about it from this point of view. If you are a guy, right? I want you all to think about this. Imagine yourself in this spot. If you're a guy and you're working with someone, wherever you are, I don't know where you're working. Maybe you're working at a grocery store. Maybe you're working at the gas station somewhere. Maybe you're working for a bank. I don't know. Let's say you work, I don't know, I'll just bring up a grocery store. I'm in Florida. Publix is a big one. A competitor for Publix. Let's say, I'll just say, I don't know, Walmart. Let's say Walmart, right? Let's say you're working at Publix. Your boss got fired from Walmart. Walmart calls you. Says, hey, you want to come work for us? And then you go tell your boss who used to work at Walmart, who got fired, you say, hey, man, Walmart just called me. The same Walmart that you worked for. Do you really think that guy is going to have a lot of good things to say about that organization? I don't think so. I mean, really, when you think about it, do you think Dave Dombrowski is going to really, I don't think he's going to hold Sam Fuld back from doing what he wants to do. Obviously, it would be a promotion. But I'm just saying, Sam Fuld knows basically everything that is going on in that organization. I don't know. Maybe I'm speculating here. Maybe I'm way off. But in my opinion, I'm just thinking Dave Dombrowski probably doesn't have a very good taste in his mouth over the Red Sox. And he knows the ins and outs. He was there. So I find, and isn't it just so backwards that the Red Sox, they fire Dave Dombrowski. They go to Chaim Bloom. And then they circle back and they go hire the guy that's under Dave Dombrowski. Does that make a whole lot of sense? You know what I mean? Like the Red Sox right now, I don't know, man. Like I am so appreciative of everything John Henry has done for this organization. But what the heck is going on right now? Like, listen, I understand 4 World Series championships. That's fantastic. I'm not complaining about that. But why is it so up and down? Why is it so much of just a yo-yo every time? Like, you're up at the top and then you're down at the bottom. Top, bottom, top, bottom. And it's like John Henry, like, what the heck is going on with this guy, dude? Like, what is going on with this ownership? And then you got, Sam Kennedy coming out. Oh, yeah. Oh, the Red Sox, if you want to work here, this is where you win baseball games. This is for the best of the best. Oh, really, Sam Kennedy? Well, okay, yeah. You look great right now because no one wants to come work for you. Yeah, sure, that's the best thing to say. When he said that, like last week or whatever, he said it like so defiantly. And it's like, dude, you look like a clown. Like, no one wants to come work for your organization. So, I don't know, man. I hope we get Sam Fuld. To me, out of all these guys that are left, you're probably not going to get Antonetti. You're not going to get Hazen now. I don't know if you're going to get Josh Burns, who's with the Dodgers. Brandon Gomes was a name. Listen, I am going to take this I'm going to take this with me until it doesn't happen. I honestly think Alex Cora ends up being the guy. Because that's another part of this. And I'm sorry. I know I'm going on a Red Sox rant right now. I know. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be biased here, but this is part of the news here. I'm just saying. That's another part of this. Why would anyone want to come work for the Red Sox when clearly Alex Cora, who I do think had a say in Chaim Bloom getting removed, they won't say that. He won't say that. But I do think they got his opinion. And I do think he said, yeah, I don't think Chaim Bloom is helping us win. I absolutely think that. Alex Cora, he threw Chaim Bloom under the bus a couple of times. Sure, some of it may be well-deserved, but Alex Cora did not have his back. He didn't show a lot of support for Chaim Bloom. I'm just saying, why would anyone want to come work for the Red Sox when clearly the ownership seems to favor Alex Cora? So it doesn't matter who they bring in, because at the end of the day, Cora seems to be in the back pocket of the ownership group, right? I don't know, man. To me, if I'm going to the Red Sox, like, I'm weary about it because I don't know what Alex Cora is saying behind my back. I don't know what he's saying to ownership. I don't know. I just don't feel good about it. I don't know. I think Alex Cora, honestly, should end up being the guy. Because why would anyone, unless like you are a guy that really wants a shot, right? You are that guy that thinks, you know what? I want to go for it. I want to get like Sam Fuld, he would get a promotion. That would be a promotion for him. He would make more money. But you have to know, if you're Sam Fuld and you're coming into the Red Sox, you basically got like 3 years. 3.5 years. because the last few guys haven't made it 4. So if you're coming into it knowing that your time is very, very likely to be limited, to me, I don't know. I'm just saying, honestly, if I'm one of these guys, I go take the Red Sox job, try and do well, maybe a few years, and I try to get the heck out of there as soon as I can. I'm just saying. Anyway, Sam Fuld, I know I kind of went on a rant there, but that has been something I haven't really talked about. The Red Sox can't hire anyone, but it is looking like Sam Fuld is possibly the favorite. And then it's also Eddie Romero, who was reportedly interviewed not too long ago. He is the assistant GM. I could see that as well. Someone that's already in the organization. And he does have a good relationship with Alex Cora. So I could see that as well. So I really do think it is going to come down to Romero and Sam Fuld. But we'll just have to wait and see. We do have some other news. We got a few guys, over in Japan right now that are getting a lot of attention. Yamamoto is going to be coming over most likely. Roki Sasaki in a few years. There are some players, right? But this is one that has been flying under the radar a little bit. Yuki Matsui, a closer over in Japan. He's put up some really good numbers over there. Looking like he is interested in coming over to the major leagues. He is an international free agent, so he doesn't even need to get posted. He can come over to the major leagues. He can just sign with the team. The team he is with at the moment, they do want to bring him back. I believe he is with he's with the Golden Eagles right now. I think that's the team Masahiro Tanaka plays on, the Golden Eagles, I believe, the Rakuten Golden Eagles. So, but this has been arguably the best closer in Japan. 501 career games, a 2.40 ERA, 236 saves. He was the youngest player in history to reach the 200 save threshold. So he's mainly a bullpen guy. But this is an interesting one. This could be one of the top relievers on the market this offseason. A lot of teams expected to jump in the mix. At least 9 major league clubs have already scouted him, including the Padres, Red Sox, Cubs, and Yankees. Listen, I'm just saying, I know the Red Sox, they can't hire anyone, but whoever it is, take the 2007 approach. Go like they did with Daisuke and Hideki Okajima. Go sign Yamamoto. Go sign Matsui for the bullpen. Red Sox World Series, if you ask me. Everyone, I'm out of here. I'm going to get going. Oh, you know what? There's actually one more bit of news here. Alyssa Nakken? I think it's Nakken. Alyssa Nakken interviewing for the Giants manager job, right? Gabe Kapler's out of town, but the Giants interviewing Alyssa Nakken for the manager job. She could potentially be the first ever manager, the first ever female manager in Major League Baseball history. Man, oh man, pretty interesting. I mean, I'm sure the Giants are going to be interviewing a lot of candidates. But hey, who knows? Maybe we could be seeing the first female Major League manager. But everyone, I'm out of here. I'm going to get going. I'm tired. I wasn't even, I thought about not even going live here tonight. But I figured, why not? Just go over tonight's game, give my thoughts for tomorrow as well. But everyone, if you can, on the way out, hit that like button for me. Smash the crap out of that like button, just like Tavares did tonight for the Rangers with that home run. Subscribe if you are new. Hit the bell notification. Share the show for the people that weren't able to catch it tonight. I'm out of here, everyone. Oh, and don't forget about Underdog Fantasy. The link is in the description down below. You got Monday Night Football coming up to... Excuse me, I cannot speak. You got Monday Night Football coming up tomorrow, as well as the ALCS Game 2 and Game 1 of the NLCS. Go over there. Go make some pick'ems. Go do a daily draft. Underdog Fantasy, your number one spot for your daily fantasy needs. The link is in the description down below. Use the code HIDE. You get a double on your first deposit up to $100. I'm out of here, everyone. I'm tired. I need to go to bed, but I will see you all tomorrow night. I do got some content coming up over the next couple of weeks. I know I've been a little slow on the videos lately, so make sure you tune in. I'm thinking probably next Saturday I would like to upload something, and then I got 3 videos in mind for the next couple of weeks. And then we got the off season coming up, and everyone, you know how good I am at predictions. My annual free agent predictions video will be coming up right after the World Series. So, hey, playoff baseball right now, but we're right into the off season right after that. Everyone, I'm out of here. Have yourself a great night, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you next time.